Hey, good morning. We are back. We are live. Let's go. All right. I think I'm loud enough. Let me check what my mic is at. I think we're good. Good morning. We are doing dev today. I have been doing a lot of build. And my recent streams have been demoing AI playing Minecraft. But today I'm gonna actually be spending more time building it. Turns out I've been trying to use as much of my AI credits as possible, and that has resulted in us having a little bit too much slop, a little bit too much Minecraft slop, all in all. So today. We're gonna try de-slopify some of our Minecraft. Is the goal. That's the goal today. That's we're gonna look at the code. We're gonna learn some TypeScript. We're gonna get woodcutting hopefully working as well as we possibly can. And so I want to do this in a couple of phases. First, we want to start a completely new AI bot and make its sole mission in life just to chop wood, right? The reason why I want to do that is because I want to have this thing just like constantly running even while we're looking at code. And I'm going to set up OBS with a view for like our bot that's just chopping wood. And I'm going to have that just like running while we stream constantly, and then we can like flick to it. I'm going to have another view that focuses on the code while the bot's off in the side. And then I'm going to have a view where it's just focusing on like the Minecraft window, I guess. So that's the goal. But rather than trying to get all of this stuff set up before I stream, I thought I'd just stream as I do it and hang out and then chat. So that's the goal. Maybe I'll add this as an actual goal somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I think I've got some text somewhere. But good morning all. How are we doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday or Sunday night. I think it's Monday for everywhere in the world though now, hopefully. How we doing? What do we want? We want a text element. Somewhere. Text. Yeah. That one. Add one existing. And then this can be goal. Get start a wood cutting bot. To run endlessly. That's our goal to start with. Excellent. Hopefully you can see that on stream. I believe that's something that will show. But how we all doing? How do I make this smaller? Opacity, background, font. Select font. Font size. Let's make that 128, half the size. Okay. Let's pop that up there, and then we'll make it. Cool. So that's our first goal. Get a bot running endlessly, right? To start with, we need to do some. We need to get some files working. So I've got old codecs up here, and we're gonna get our instance configured. So that's what this thing does. It points it to the instance in this profile, so it runs on my PC. And so I've wired up all of my little commands to point to different, like, so that they can run easily on different profiles. I've got like a profile on my PC for my streaming, and then one for my not streaming, and so they'll have different like CurseForge instances for both. So this points it to that, and then we need to configure a role. Let's set up a brand new role with a new prompt, and this is going to just chop wood. That is its mission in life. Collect all the wood and stay alive. Set that up. Now, what this is going to do is play around with these play profiles. So I realized, or not realized, but like I wanted to configure different different worlds with different sets of bots. And so you can see like the latest instance of this here, right? This is a, let's make this a bit smaller as well. There we go. Let's put that there. Cool. And then we'll drag it so it gets to here. Great. So this lets us configure different worlds with roles. Last time I was streaming, I did like I put 3 AI in Minecraft, and I gave them different like personas. So you can see a version of that here. One was a warrior, one was a gatherer, one was a builder. And so it had a little JSON file that defined what they were in this world. And then I was playing around yesterday. Oh, we've got an ad. Sorry, ads already. This one should be the last one for a bit though. So I'll let that ad finish off, and then we'll keep on chatting. Good morning. How we doing? All right. All right, our ads are out of the way. We're gonna be ad free for a bit, so I can talk. We can talk. Cool. So, I want to be able to easily switch between Minecraft worlds and the roles and personas that are playing inside them, so that we can easily go back to the world that we were playing with the 3 bots after we iterate the actions a little bit. But when we were playing last time, when we were like getting Minecraft bots to play through the game, the biggest problem was that these bots are having issues with basic actions, which is always going to be the issue, right? An AI will make a decision and say, do this. And if that thing that the bot says go and do doesn't complete or doesn't fail in a reasonable way, then the AI will just get confused. And so all of the work that we're going to do to beat Minecraft with an AI end to end, which no one has ever done before. The only way we're going to be able to actually do that is by spending all of our time building an action layer that lets them do that, right? It's not about the AI, right? It's never about the AI. Screw the AI. It's all about the tooling around the AI and then how you enable it to do stuff. And so that's what I want to spend some time getting a lot deeper in today. Building out the actual action layer. And so as you can see, I'm going to be actually sitting inside VS Code, hopefully a fair bit today, doing some debugging, looking at the actual logic behind our actions. And we're going to start, because we're looking at woodcutting, with this thing called resources.ts. And so this is where we have our logic defined for gathering materials, search and collect materials. And it's a bit sloppy. It's a bit slop filled. So I want to work through this, decide what should stay, decide what should go, understand what we've got, what we're actually trying to capture here, and learn a bit of TypeScript as we go. I've done a bunch of JavaScript in the past. I haven't done as much TypeScript, and in terms of the way that this is calling it, I've been very much focusing on maximizing my token usage to get as far as possible with our Minecraft bot playing ability. And so reading through this, I'm like, the hell is it doing? And is it sensible? And should it be doing it? And can we make it read nicely rather than read like this, right? I'd prefer higher level actions and the details of what's happening to kind of be abstracted behind more interfaces rather than like massive chunks of logic just being like machine gunned into a function. And so that's what we'll do. We'll do a bit of debugging. You can attach these things to debuggers. You can run a thing and say, attach it to this. But while we're doing that, I want our Minecraft to just be playing in the background so we can watch what it's actually doing. Cool. So while this is setting up a couple of files for us, supervisor. One codex woodcutter, no utility instances, generated world, that matches today's date. Good. And then hopefully away we go. So first goal, we still want to get this world launched and this bot playing so that I can set up my little scenes in OBS to have my Minecraft bot like playing continuously up in the top right. And then we want to make our woodcutting action a lot more reliable. We just want it to run around. We want it to chop wood. We don't want it to get stuck on things. We want to make sure our function is totally understandable. We'll attach some, like while we're looking at this, I'm keen to show you how I attach this to the actual live node session so you can see the debugging output as we're like having it run. To get a bit deeper into what's actually happening, because this is the bit that actually matters if we're going to beat Minecraft, right? The actions, how it's structured, making sure that it's doing reasonable things and isn't doing too much or too little of the things that we don't want it to do. That's our goal. But first, we are waiting for our MCP bot to actually start. Broader role manager imports are hitting several unreadable nested packages in node modules. Dependency ACL problem. Interesting. What's wrong with our dependency? What's wrong with our dependency ACLs? What's wrong with our dependency ACLs? This is a thing I haven't been using too much, which is a pretty interesting feature in Codex. You can, while you've got an agent in the process of actually like solving a problem, you can open up a side chat beside your like main agent thread, and then like dig into things that it's doing or not doing, which is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. NTFS deny /ownership from a broader sandbox or NPM problem. And then it can run tools as well. Cool. And hopefully we'll like come back sooner. So while this is working on something long, this is for like a little short inquiry. So I guess this is the work chat and then this is the learning chat. I haven't spent that much time like living inside our side chats, but I feel like I probably should spend a bit more time. I'm gonna just also organize this a little bit more. Make all of this a bit shorter. There you go. Sweet. Alrighty. Directory ASLs are fine. Broken protected file level ACLs. Specific entry points such as these reject content reads, and even ICALs get ACL inspection. They have non-inherited or protected DACLs. Exclude the current user. Oh, interesting. The normal repair is to fix it. Resetting ACL inheritance in place is possible, but a clean lock file-based reinstall is less likely to leave more damaged files. Did we do that? It looks like we did that. We did a npm reinstall. But then it's still going, oh, it's going through processes now. Added 5 packages. Okay, so it's still in the process of fixing this in our main session. Good. Good. Continue. MIMEDB. Yep. MIME types. Yep, it's fixing the things that are broken. I'm gonna presume this these issues are because I've got because I've got this package in a public folder. So there's my public users and my public documents under projects. This is where I've got like things that I share across my streaming user profile and my non-streaming user profile on this computer. And if I install packages with one account and then the ACLs, like the permissions to those files, get locked to one account, then if I switch, it can cause tech drama, which I think is what's being solved now. Good. Oh, what are we running into here? Package lock JSON. I feel like environment configuration ends up being this weird make or break, or it was. I don't know how much it is anymore, but I feel like it always was, like in the workplace, this weird like make or break skill set. Like if you could set up an environment with the right tools and navigate that successfully yourself, you are free, you can do what you want within a workplace, you can overcome problems on your own, you can kind of like make big things because you can deal with the finicky setup stuff. So before AI, it used to be a whole ass like skill set and discipline to be able to configure stuff. And I think it still is to a point. I think now it's more like being able to understand and get AI to configure things in the right way. Like you can use AI to run a lot of the setup stuff and install things, or, change config or investigate issues and give you like things that are wrong. But you kind of still need to be able to interpret it. So for a non-tech person, if you're like vibe coding something and it just stops working, you'd be like, fix it AI, fix it. And you just like keep complaining until it fixes it. It may fix it, but it may not fix it in a good way that's actually like useful for other people. It's interesting how this used to be like a whole ass discipline. Just simple things. Can you get the thing to run? Do you have your node modules installed properly? And now I'm just like, a second lock package confirms this is broad stale ACL damage. Per package prepare would be brittle. Rename the generated root and workspace modules into the existing unrecoverable quarantine, then let npm CI. Yeah, just reinstall node modules. It's fine. We'll steer it and just tell it to do it. We'll just get it to reinstall everything. That's fine. What did it run into this error originally from? Like, what were we trying to run? Or were we just trying to iterate the... I think we ran this into this. We ran into it here because then we started checking for ACLs. Duration, 2 seconds, one passed, and then nothing. And then we checked ACLs for all of these subfolders, and then we went on a little mission to understand why our ACLs were messed up. No good. No good. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. Good morning, all. Well, good evening. I assume if you're in the US, it's probably pretty late now, right? Or like evening time. What time is it in the US? Time in US now. 11 p.m. in Washington. LA is 8 p.m. Chicago is 10. Time in SF now? If it's on West Coast, it's 8 p.m. If it's on East Coast, 11 p.m. Interesting. That's about the time difference between Perth and Sydney, actually. Perth time now is 11 a.m. Oh, that's 2 hours behind. So, and then Hawaii would be Honolulu time now. Earlier, right? 5 p.m. So between Honolulu and New York, that's 6 hours. Interesting. We've only got 2 hours to Perth. All right, US is wider. All right, fine. You guys, you get it. All right, fine. You take the cake. All right. All right, how are we going? Have we got this set up yet? Clean reinstall completed successfully. Great. We now stop on prettier warnings. That's fine. We do not care. We're running local runtime test policy. Only changed file formatting issue is the new lock entry and prettier normalized it. Current nether roll and services are stopped. I'm using the normal stop commands anyway to preserve the profile switch safety contract. Then I'll activate woodcutter. Finally. All right. So we call a stop command to make sure that our previous server is stopped. And then hopefully we can actually start our new Minecraft server. Our new woodcutting Minecraft server. Which also means that I should be able to... Woodcutter stopped. This is going to be on 25566. So we're going to open up our Minecraft instance. We're going to point it to 25566. And then our woodcutting agent should hopefully kick off. That's looking good. That's looking good. Alrighty, we are in. Ish. Is this on? Cool. Yo! Okay. Which now means that we should be able to attach. And there he is. Here is our woodcutter. He's looking good. Let's collapse that and collapse that. Now, first order of business, I have noticed our woodcutter. We need to remove our old mod from instance and keep only the new one. So in addition to working on this actions package, I've got a mod. I've got a mod so that we can keep an eye on different things that the bot is doing. Specifically, we can easily teleport to him, so we can just press a button and then we're in his head. Yay! And to do other things like this. So he's going to start cutting wood now, which is great. That means our whole stack is up and running. Kinda. It's kinda up and running. He's already stuck in leaves. Damn. That's exactly what we wanted to actually cover. So he's, in theory, up and running. One of the things we want to do, though, is visualize the different things that he does. He's walking around and chopping wood, but if he has to take a longer path to something, I've got this mod to actually show the path that he's got planned, and so you'll see briefly like a yellow line showing his pathing. Just so that you can kind of see where he's walking to, right? I wonder if I can crop this. There we go. Let's take the camera. Let's properties. And filters. No, that's for render delay, scaling, crop. Well, we managed to crash Minecraft. Excellent. I hope I'm back now. I hope we are now returned. We managed to crash OBS. I tried cropping my video and was not happy, not at all. So I'll leave my video uncropped, that's fine. That's fine. Now there is a command I can run to set this to roll mod. What command do I use to give myself night vision? Minecraft spectator. There we go. Hopefully you're all back and can hear me again and all is good. There we go. Slash effect, Minecraft give vision, this one. Ooh. Cool. So we've got night vision now. So if it becomes night and our dude gets in danger, that's fine. Okay. We're back, we're good. We haven't crashed too hard. Back to it. Okay, so can we remove old version of mod? Not the mod from the instance. So our bot is currently just chopping wood continuously. What we want to look for is failures. But before that, let me configure OBS a little bit, because this bot chopping is quite useful. I want this to be a window capture, and I want to create a scene specifically for it. Doop, doop. Look at him go. Look at him go. Love to see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a scene. Can I stay on one scene while I create another one? Let me check. Let's say Minecraft Minecraft focus. What am I going to call this? Well, there's Minecraft desktop Minecraft. We'll make it that, because then I can have Minecraft off on the side. Ooh, like that. Let's add webcam. Add one existing. Put that down here. Ooh, there we go. Make that smaller. And then what we're going to do is add a scene for window capture. Call this one window capture. Add a new window capture. We're going to capture this one. And we're not going to capture cursor. We'll just leave that as so. Yep. Then you should be able to see this. Can you see this? Hopefully. We'll put this one over here. And then we're going to attach to the bot itself. Maybe we'll go from behind. And then we can watch him kind of doing stuff in the background. This is like those Zoomer videos, right? With like the Subway Surfer or something, like running in the background. And so we'll keep him running in the background like that. And then we will... Oh, Jesus. We'll keep it running in the background like that, and then I can just add like a normal desktop. Like screen capture, video capture. No. Oh. Display capture. Gotcha. And then I can just add this like so. Good. And then we'll have two things. Cool. And if I put this all the way down here, this is going to be behind, and then I can make it like that. Beautiful. All right, cool. We are good. We are Gucci good. So now I can put this over here. And then hopefully make it bigger, because we don't need super high resolution for this one. Oh, let's make that bigger like this. We can even make it bigger like this, hey? We can make it bigger like, whee. Okay. And then this can take up to like this. And then we can put that over here. Oh, look at that. That's great. Cool. And then if I align these, then we can just keep our bot running over here. And then that's our woodcutting bot done. All right, sweet. So that is goal complete for the first goal, which is get our Minecraft bot that's like chopping wood to like just run. Cool. All right, cool. So I can just leave that running. We can just watch it run up there. And then we can start working on our next goal, which I should add as a text element. Add one existing. There we go. Look at that. Now we can have our little goal up here. Goal 1. Watch. Start a woodcutting bot to run endlessly. Done. He's running endlessly. Next goal is get observer view up and running. Up and running. All right, cool. So what is Observer? Observer is the program I'm using to not do much. All right, cool. So we got this running. Observer, we want our Observer UI up and running as well. So Observer, while this bot runs around and does stuff, he's making a bunch of calls. He's getting a bunch of like result outputs from our MCP server. We want to keep an eye on the actual calls that are being made while he's, getting himself in trouble. Oh, look at him go. He's building a house. Huh. Look at him go. He's building a house. There we go. So we want our bot to, we want to keep an eye on what our bot's actually doing, right? So if you see this is our kind of like interface for observing the bot, observing his inventory, looking at his actions, figuring out what's actually happening. We don't get to see exactly what he's, let me make this smaller again. Goal, get observer up and running. Let's put it down there. Cool. We don't get to see what he's actually like doing or thinking in real time. I'm actually not saying shit at the moment. Why not? Oh, because he's in a little house over here. I see. There we go. So you can see what he's, the last thing he ran was wait until sunrise, right? And so the bot has decided that it's nighttime, he's in danger, and instead of braving the world or building a bed, he's not at that stage. And so he's built himself a little house and he's just waiting until sunrise, right? More importantly, we need an ability to see what he's actually doing at any point in time. See what he sees, see the calls he's making, see the information he's getting back, just to keep an eye on, are we giving him the right info to make the right decisions, right? Your bot only gets a text view of the world, and so the whole game of building a useful wrapper MCP thingy for our bot to play the game is to keep an eye on the actual information that he's getting. So that's why we want this observer interface. But more importantly, we have a action library. This gives us all of the calls that the bot can make. He can chat, he can look at stuff, he can equip items, he can travel via portal, he can place blocks, build paths, pick up drops. So these are all the like actions that our bot can take, right? So this is the catalog that we want to curate by building this. And today's session is mostly focusing on a very particular one, which is nowhere here. Where the hell is it? Pick up, no, build, place, look at, where did it go? This one, collect block, find safely approach mine and collect up to 32 matching loading blocks. So this is kind of our block collection thing. If we needed to go and mine, like collect wood, if we needed to mine like iron or coal, this is the tool call that our bot is going to use to do that. And you can see it, it's a method. It's got collect block. It takes a block name argument, and it takes a bunch of other arguments as well. So the input JSON schema takes a block name, a count. If it has an exact XYZ target, it can provide that. It can say how it wants to light the route towards collecting the blocks. It can choose a tool policy about like, can you use whatever tools you have available, or do you just want to like mine it with a particular tool? And if it's using an exact tool name to make the call make sense, checks out. These are some of the things that you want for collect block. So this is a method that we're going to be spinning on today. I got another view here, and I call this the operator console. And so this is a bit of a more technical view for me to just look at the events and the MCP calls that the bot is actually making, and to see if any fail. And so I've got this to be as like I want to make this as obvious as we can for us to see exactly what the success or failure rate of different actions is. Specifically, not these place block calls, because these are MCP outcomes. I'm surprised I didn't use build structure for that rather than I used place block like 6 times in a row. What we've got here is report bug, shelter in place, placement target unsupported, shelter in place leaves enclosure incomplete when east wall target lacks support. Interesting. So it's already complaining about one of our methods. Great. So it tried shelter in place as a method. It failed, and it's like, screw it, I'll put blocks down myself. Crafted items to make the shelter place. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So these are the kind of like errors that I want to be looking at and dealing with as our bot is navigating the world and making calls, right? He said, I want to go and collect birch logs, 8 of them, and we're going to use a wooden axe to mine it. We got a partial success here with an OK false. Payload profile, structure result. Collected, what we collected was 4. We requested 8. We mined 3. We gained 4, and we confirmed 3 pickups. So we've somehow mined 3 birch logs and picked up 4 of them. That's fine. Why was it a failure? Why was it partial? Collection collected. Here. Attempt count 6, stop reason, pathfinder, no progress, lighting false. So this is, no carry torches. Gotcha. So because we don't have any torches and we've got we've got lighting none though. Interesting. So lighting is stopped because we've got no carry torches. Stop reason is stopped because we've got pathfinder, no progress. Diagnostics is block updated. Reset block changes dirt to grass block. On a support cell. Are these events or are these what's happening? Collect block partial. Path found no safe progress toward a loaded matching block. Session state is idle. And if we want to go and get events, this is our like hook so that we can go and retrieve those events. Events are like, what's the best way of describing this? So we have like, if you think about like a Minecraft turn, right? You're going to have like a session, and the session is like every time I make a tool call from our AI, our AI is going to hit some MCP server, which is like going to be a big empty box. This one, big empty box. So our AI is going to hit some MCP server, and it's going to get a response. But it's going to be doing this in turns. So it's going to say, hey, what's going on? And I'm going to want to do something. So collect wood might be the call, and it gets given back a question mark response. What goes into that response is a set of things. One, we have a concept of a session. Let's send this to back. There we go. We have a concept of a session. which manages like what state the bot is in right now. It's like it's a state machine. So that session looks at like, is he in combat? Is he idle? Is it like in the process of doing an action? This kind of session is handling all of these states that the bot could be in. Combat, safe, doing action, something happened. To simplify, right? And then you might have a set of events happen in the world, because this MCP server is acting like a bridge in Minecraft, right? And so, you know, there's things that happen on the actual server, because then there's the Minecraft server over here. Server. And there's going to be like game events, like, you know, get attacked by a zombie, right? And so the MCP server is acting as this bidirectional flow from the Minecraft server back to the AI, and from the AI into the Minecraft server. And you've got to do all of the complexity of like keeping things aligned and keeping the bot like aware of what's happening in this space. So that's the key thing that's happening here, right? Here we send commands, and then we get back updates, world updates. So what do you do around events that are happening? The idea is that in this response, we need to capture both what the result of that particular action was, like collect wood, action success. But you also need to keep a track of, did anything happen? Right? Like that. So that's what events, like that's the role events play, is that we need a way for the bot to be notified, hey, something happened in the world, you should keep an eye on it. And we need to give it a way to get those events and actually like read through them, right? So that's the kind of like architecture that's happening here. Let's make these a little bit smaller, like this. Sweet. Make this Minecraft server a little bit smaller as well. And then attach this here. There we go. Whee! And so what you can see in this observer interface is that we had let's pop this out, pop out. We had you know, what's the result of the action that you were trying to take? What are the diagnostics? Why did it stop? But we also have this event cursor, which is what the bot can use to then make a like get events call to find out what's happened in the world. So it can be told, oh, something happened, and then it can like diagnose what that thing that happened was. For instance, something I want to do with our bot right now. He was trapped in a little house, right? Let's go find him again. There he is. He was trapped in a little house. He got out of that, and now he's back to cutting wood again, right? He's back to his old tricks. But he had to stand inside a house the whole night to like wait out the night. Very inefficient. It's going to be more efficient if he like builds a bed and sleeps in it, right? So what I'm going to tell him is, can you build a bed? Why don't you get some wool and build yourself a bed for sleeping through the next night? So this chat message then becomes an event that our bot hopefully can read and then react to. So I'm going to go over to here and we're going to watch what he does. Inspect environment. He has a look at this and he gets a set of information about monsters nearby, a set of things here. He gets a little... Yeah, so he called inspect environment, and this somewhere is going to have my messages. Maybe down the bottom? No, grass block. Where is it going to be? No, there's like cell positions. God, there's a lot of shit here that we're going to like start cutting out. Visible features. Nope. No. Hostile policies, nearby entities. Damn, we're not seeing anything here. Well, I believe he gets a notification somewhere. I'm not sure where it actually ended up. But after I sent that message, he immediately starts going, cool, I'm going to go and hunt some sheep and get some wool, right? Warnings, responses. Where is this thing? Why don't... There we go. Player messages. Where's that? Is that in this one? Collect block? Ah. Okay, so this is exactly what I meant. Although it's not part of events, I feel like this should actually be in the different thing. And this is what I mean by like de-sloppifying. Sometimes like the places that I expect logic to be is not exactly where it is. But my chat message ends up in a response after his collect block. And so it's not even as part of like a separate event. It's just, we get, come back to this diagram, we get collect block true, block equals true, more or less, with a bunch of other information. But we also get chat message received. And this is where, chat message. This is where he gets my message at the same time as he gets a response on something else. But this MCP server is handling that delegation, like that kind of like, I guess, orchestration of saying, oh, here's an event. That we also need to go back to the bot with a message from like the command that it asked us to run, but we need to attach some extra event information onto that, which is the chat message I sent, which says, hey, why don't you go and hunt some sheep, build a bed so that you can sleep through the night. And so it immediately responds to that, has a look at the environment, finds some sheep, and then starts hunting sheep, which is still running now, as you can see. So he's trying to get his 3 wool. I don't think he has a sword, so I think he's just punching the shit out of it. Great. Awesome. And then yeah, that's kind of what's happening here, where we're hunting some sheep. But as I said, today is not really focused on watching our bot play. I mean, we will, because it's fun. But our focus now is on making this better, right? So we've got a search and collect materials function, and this plays the role of many things. This plays the role of helping us get wood. It plays the role of helping us find like coal and iron and stuff. It plays a lot of different roles, and we want to make sure that we're across all of the logic that's actually happening inside it, because there is a lot of code in our Minecraft Actions surface right now because we were testing out a lot of different things. A bit too much. And so I want to go through and be a bit deeper in here. Read through it, make sure that we're across like what's actually happening here, make sure it's like grouped reasonably. There's a lot of things here that are like quite reusable across other things. But the 2 big things you're going to be wanting to do in Minecraft is resource collection and gathering. A lot of traversal and like figuring your way around the environment, and combat. Those are the 2 big things to like allow survival. Building, like the crafting side of it, is not too complex and not too hard to get right. I mean, there can be complexity with crafting in terms of like where you put the buildings and how do you like find your way back to them. But the things that'll keep you alive is the ability to like get resources and to like not die, right? So that's why we're going to be spending time just doing this. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to like hang around and interrupt me. But it's a day for coding. It's a day for coding today, right? But you know, as with all good coding, we start with some debugging, right? Like there's things happening here as it's doing as its calls. And the reason why I've got our bot like collecting wood is so that we can like attach a debugger and see what's actually running. So if I connect to MCP host, this one, and we add something like a log point, and then we just, is it print? How do you, console.log? What's the best way to, ChatGPT? Log point, How do I print out an object? Let me actually disconnect and show you what I did real quick as well. So we're in a file, we're in VS Code, and we've got a running MCP server that's connected to Minecraft and taking actions like this node process. If I press F5, it pulls up this thing across the top. I don't know if you can see up here. That shows the different processes that are running, the different node processes that are running, that we could attach to. So we can go in here and hopefully attach to our node process here that's running the MCP server. Now that we've got a debugger attached, we can add, hey, Panda, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Making a Paper Mario. Yes, yes, you did mention it. Yes, you're making a game that's Paper Mario meets Breath of the Wild. I was going to play it last stream, but I was like too focused on watching 3 AI do social experiments. With voice narrator and music, you've got an opening cutscene. You sent me the links last time. I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to like have a play. Yeah, absolutely. Send me a link. Is it on a codex site? Where did you publish it to? Let's open it up. I need to open, hold on, let me open this up in, this is also on itch.io. Let me open this up here. There we go. No. And how do I copy paste? There we go. Copy, paste. All right, there we go. Looks sick. Very codexy, I can already tell. Begin adventure? You generated all of the artwork as well? That's sick.
A book of infinite power once held every fold of the world in harmony. 5 corrupted shards of the Voidbinder tore across the heavens. They fell through the clouds toward the various regions of the planet. One by one, the shards struck the biomes below and split the ground into a blazing fury.
This is sick, dude.
Paper fortresses unfolded from the earth, imprisoning 4 corrupted sacred guardians. 4 shadow tethers.
How good is the graphical uplift now that you're on the codex juice?
Face the Voidbinder now at full strength, or defeat each regional titan to peel away a tether, phase, and layer of defense. High above the shadowed world.
You had 2% left last week. And you're on a $100 plan, right? Very interesting. So you've gone through like a TD, but like a 2D, 3D art style. Okay, and it's like quick time events for combat. Technique. Damn. Hey, this looks much more like a game. No, I never actually played Paper Mario. If this is like Paper Mario-esque, makes sense. Oh, sick. I mean, hey, I love it. Big improvement. Oh, and you've got actually full like 3D style. Yo, sick. Damn, you have been cooking hard. God damn. Love to see it. You can find objects in trees. E. I like the tree animations. This is a lot more interactive and like visually there. Got music as well in the background. Hell yeah. I think the paper style and like having 2D actually works really well for you because like 3D adds like 3D rendering animation is complex and AI hasn't quite got there yet, and there's a lot of like complexity there. So this lets you focus on the game design, the game elements, while still having like a good visual style. Like this, you know, this is an actual game. right? And you can focus on the mechanics and the logic and like the storytelling, the sound, the elements around, all of the other things without having to deal with the one thing that AI still finds very challenging, which is like 3D rigging and like asset creation. This is great. And you just focus on storytelling. The real question is, what's the narrative? What am I trying to get to, and how do I level up, and what's the progression cycle? Given the way that combat worked, as like your like opening intro where you like fight the 3 monsters, I'm almost expecting like little characters walking around, and if I run into them, then I like get like dropped into like a quick time combat event. And if it's turn-based combat, like it makes me want like Final Fantasy style, like combat, like gear acquisition, leveling up, like that progression loop, and making that as satisfying as far is like, for me at least, the like the reason why I'll like play games and like stick with them for a while. Damn, you got like full on houses and everything though. And the music changes in villages? Sheesh, you've done a lot within a week, my friend. God damn. Morning arrives. I can sleep. What does this thing do? What does this thing do? Is the music AI generated too? What did you use to make the soundtrack for it? I'm not reading chat. I'm writing some. I'm reading some. Items and boss relics, badges. There were tons of monsters before, but not now. Power pin. None of the 39 barrages are guaranteed boss trophies. Why do I have so many already? Party. Gotcha. Interesting. Don't forget to think about how you I mean, there's a lot of like there's a nonsense amount of content here already for a week. As somebody who's never played Paper Mario, think about like system introduction. Hey, finally, monsters! Oh, there we go. Yeah, how to onboard people and get like them used to the systems and like introduce them step by step. Getting straight into combat's quite nice. Item, let's use the sunberry. I want a little health bar over my head too. Let's use a technique. Oh, all right, got rid of him. 500 XP, 13 coins, and then I get to level up. Hell yeah. Add a health bar for the player, and what you should be able to do with like Claude quite easily is the menu system here, especially for things like HP, showing stats, really lean into like, you know, like it's a game, like use colors, use like visual elements, like bars, progress bars, etc. for XP. That whole, you know, like, you know, in Pokemon, like you kill a Pokemon and you have that really satisfying like, ding, like when he levels up, that kind of shit. Like all of that stuff is like activates the dopamine real hard when you like, when you achieve things in the game. You want to leverage that that addiction cycle to get people like hooked onto it, right? Now I've got 2 bars. Oh, because they last longer. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, cool. That took me up heaps higher. Nothing useful was hiding there. I can't walk inside houses yet? I see. Ah, now I've got 2. I see. Damn, you've done a lot. All right, you need to write a little. Guide for me to beat the first boss, and think about that first boss experience, right? Where is the first boss? How do I get to it? What's the sequence of things? You need to like talk me through doing a little playthrough to unlock some stuff. Wait, what NPC? Is it NP up? This bunny up here? What? On the folded basket? Alright. We bought some moss tea and some baskets. Hey Zanar, how you doing? We're going well. I'm playing. Pandas made this in Codex after we got him hooked on it last week. This is sick for a week of work, right? Well, like a 2D Mario, like Paper Mario Breath of the Wild clone. So you got like a glider, and you can use that like Breath of the Wild, and then you've got like the artwork and animation style of Paper Mario. So then it can just be like 2D renders of things. It's sick. Wait, where's the NPC that I gotta get for the second one? This one? Nah, I don't want to rest. Oh yeah, we're at ads now. Good. Damn. This is a sick panda. Good choice. Very impressed with a lot of the design decisions you made here. My Codex spent 60 million tokens planning a restructure of my server. What's running in your server, Zanar? This one? Oh, it's following you. Oh, yeah. Right, okay, so I've already got it. Gotcha. What's running on your server to restructure it? What the hell? It's trying to save itself. Oh, I can sprint. I didn't even realize. Of course. I've got nothing to fight against though. Crazy. Dude, you've got a huge map already. 15 terabytes of random stuff. Holy. Fair enough. One of many that will need redoing. I expect half of it's duplicated or unneeded data. Yeah, honestly. It's a bit like that sometimes. Ah, cool. Very nice. Now I need to go and work on, now I need to go and work on my own game, like, where I'm not even making the game. I'm just trying to figure out the, like, process of playing it. This is sick. Keep up with it. I work with big data. 15 terabytes is a fairly chunky amount of data. Is it textual data, or is this, like, loads of Parquet files? Woo! Several petabytes. That's some chunky backups. Point clouds and rasters, yeah, fair enough. That will take up a fair bit of space. Those hard drives aren't cheap. Actually, hard drives are getting fairly cheap now these days. But yeah, keeping that organized that's a whole job. I'm curious how you approached using AI to help organize data in a way that it doesn't delete anything. Not with the storage crisis. Is storage in crisis? I know RAM's in crisis, but is storage in crisis? Also, what's our bot doing? Let me check its inventory. We've got a bunch of birch logs. We've got a wooden pickaxe, and we've got some mutton. Let's tell our bot to do some more things. Why don't you get a stone axe and some more cooked food to actually make it more efficient. Efficient and survive longer. Alright, we're going to tell our bot to actually do a better job of what he's meaning to do. Liberated turtles. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. First time chatter. My favorite. Welcome. I'm leading the charge on AI at my work. Do you have a keybind for sleep in bed? I don't have a keybind for anything right now. I mean, the bot is making its own decisions. Like, this is running a codex loop just with a goal to say keep on making decisions in the game and use the MCP server to do things. But it's generally told that it should sleep in bed. I think it might even try and do it automatically if it's got a bed in its own inventory. Or I can just tell it to go and sleep in a bed because it does get the chat messages that I send. Question for pandas. Did you use an asset pack or did you just AI generate all of it? And if you did AI generate all of it, what did you use to AI generate the assets in your game? Because it does look pretty sick. All right, now back to our console. We are still getting some errors with collecting blocks. I think I saw a red recently. Where did it go? This inspect environment had far too much info. Use ChatGPT for all of the image generation as well. This was just ChatGPT generating images. Did you just use Codex directly, or did you do it with GPT? GPT does have pretty sick image gen, yes. The Paper Mario aesthetic lends well to it. Let's try generating one too. Like if we generated a ChatGPT, generate a 2D panda turtle in a Paper Mario style with a what's the background? Opaque background. Let's see if we can blend you two together. ChatGPT up on desktop version. Told it to make it a Paper Mario aesthetic. Hell yeah. Let's see how well this does on its own. Sketching it out. So this is exactly the process that we're using, essentially. That's sick. Look at this. Very nice. Hey, use this as one of your monsters. You gotta do it. Although I don't know if can I share it? Share, copy link. There you go. It's gotta make its way into your game. That's sick. But yeah, 2D stuff, phenomenal. I feel like we haven't had AI crack 3D, but yeah, like for game art, for this style of like assets in the game, good. And you could basically use this for all of the monsters, which means you can just generate assets for every possible type of monster you can imagine. It makes storytelling actually quite powerful. Good thought. Blends very nicely, makes the assets fast. Yeah, so you're basically limited by your own imagination in terms of what you include on it. 100%. Nice. Love it. All right. Collect block. We want failed. Unsuccessful is what we're actually looking for. But what the hell's happening here? We're getting loads of action. There we go. Here we go. Pop out, failure. what are we getting here? We're getting oak log, 8. Mine it with a stone axe. We're getting, let's open this up here. Do we have a stone axe? Do we have cooked food? We have 2 cooked food. Okay, good enough. Good enough, that'll work. I want to look at why this failed first. Search session. Oak logs. Go look at block. Pathfinder no progress. Pathfinder found no safe progress towards a loaded matching block. Okay, so this seems like the error that we're gonna have to deal with. Pathfinder progress within collect block, where it's trying to like mine lots of trees. And if we look at the kind of thing that our dude is doing, what are you doing? Why are you stuck inside a tree like this, bruh? What's going on? What's going on here? What happened? Navigate? Failed. Yeah, because you're stuck inside a tree. Explore frontier. Failed. Collect block. What are you doing now? Navigate. Failed again. Place block. Succeeded. Okay. It looks like it's trying to navigate, but like it was kind of unsuccessful. And it's been able to find its way out. All right, cool. There is a bunch of weirdness with this. Bunch of weirdness. The paper trees were nice too. They used 3D meshes for the base trunk and then images for the leaves. I mean, this is where you start building up like the skill set that is going to work for game development, is like in asset generation and how you can use AI to speed up the process and to like actually make stuff, because it's still your own creative, pursuit, but you're making the best use of the tools that you have available to you to then like put them in the game. And then you develop a skill set around, okay, how do I combine these things and what works well and what doesn't work well? And then you're actually learning how to AI engineer and like a good way for making games, right? It's a new tool set and a new way of like combining things and creating. But it's still a skill set to learn. You need to build an agent that monitors the woodcutter and yells at it when it's stuck like another agent in the game. Yes. Maybe having a manager will work at some point, but I think the bigger problem is like, the bigger problem is having actions that fail for non-sensible reasons. Here's a failure that's very sensible, right? Shelter in place, partially successful. The shelter blocks are insufficient, right? And so it tries to make a shelter, but it doesn't have enough oak planks to build the shelter. And so it comes back and it says, all right, that's fine. You need 5 carried blocks. You've only got 4 shelter blocks. Cool. Okay. And so then that failure is reasonable. And then the bot responds to that failure and says, craft item succeeded. Item count 4. I'm going to make some oak planks and then I'm going to create my shelter, right? And then it can call shelter in place again and it succeeds. So that's a great example of like a failure that's reasonable. So the bot is given an error message, it knows how to handle that, and then it can take a proper decision to follow up on that. The bigger problem is when it doesn't get given the right error messages and it's just confused and stuck in a loop. And so that's more a failure on me to give it the right information that it needs to use to make a decision, or a failure on the underlying actions. What I'm more worried about is kind of the navigates, but more like what's happening here, right? We say collect block and we get an okay false. False why? And you go and look at the reasons and you get this, collect target not reachable, not safely reachable, block not in view. I'd argue, like for a tree, that's a kind of stupid error. Yes, this is definitely built on Mindflayer. Is this built on Mindflayer? Absolutely. Mindflayer has done a bunch of excellent work to build the actual protocol so you can do the rest of the scripting in TypeScript or JavaScript on top of it, rather than having to do stuff in Java. So you get an actual first-class scripting language with access to a whole bunch of stuff, and then you can easily like integrate it with like browser tech and a bunch of the different agent frameworks. So this is an MCP server with a Mindflayer agent under the hood, and then I'm like messing with the libraries that I need to make things work. For instance, I've been having a bunch of issues with Pathfinder, right? Which is probably like one of the underlying things that is driving this error. Mindflayer Pathfinder is the like pathfinding plugin to like run around and like get to places, but like it was made in 2021 and there's a whole bunch of issues with that with some of the other surrounding frameworks. And so I've been finding bugs, me and Codex, in a bunch of different scenarios that we're running, and patching the like framework libraries to make this stuff work. Which is what we want to get to with this. But what we do want to get to with this is debugging for now. Object my object. Stringify. Put expressions inside that. Yep. Inner log point. Give me some code. Give me some code for this. For printing out these. Yeah, Mindflayer is awesome, very incomplete. So my goal is to patch whatever isn't complete, get it working, rebuild anything I need to the point where, you know, it's not as flaky as it is, and to isolate all of the flaky attributes and then build scenarios that make sure that they actually work. So like a good example of one was Mindflayer and Pathfinder and another one called Prismarine Physics work together to just move around in the environment. But they have to simulate what's going to happen to plan routes accurately so that when you send commands to the server, they'll succeed. And if the server starts rejecting things that they're like saying to do, then you'll get these weird deadlocks where it retries because the server says no, and that retry fails. And so you need your Mindflayer client library to have a pretty good read on what's happening in the actual server side. One of the things that wasn't happening well was a weird comparison where it thought it had clearance to jump over a block, and so it was trying to do a movement, but that understanding of the world was wrong, and so it would just jump into the block. And so it was an issue with how axis-aligned bounding boxes are calculated, and it was like computer science 101. It was like a floating point comparison error. Like it didn't have any tolerance for, you know, when floating point numbers round to the wrong value. And so it was like, yes, this is a valid action on the client side. And the server's like, no, it's absolutely not, right? Just because that comparison was like 0.000001, like off. And so adding tolerance into the physics library for Prismarine in terms of how it calculates movements around the world fixes that problem, because it goes, no, that's not a valid movement because this box is right here. And then it goes, oh, cool, I'll plan around it. Fine, right? But until then, I had like a 100% reproducible bug where I could just like make it run up a course and it would jump into like a wall and then just like get stuck. So I'm like, all right, well, clearly there's a bug. But it's more about like the testing and then how we like set up the scenarios and like kind of like I've got a whole obstacle course, like set of obstacle courses I'm calling a scenario lab, and I'll like run them to see what happens. I'll run it for you. I'll show you what it looks like. What we're going to need is a PowerShell window, and we're going to put this PowerShell window into cdc users public projects mineai public documents projects mineai, and we're going to do node bin mineai apps lab start. That's going to start nothing. Oh, app, not apps. That's going to start our scenario lab app. No, it's not. Why is it not? Let's tell GPT to fix this then. Get this running. And as for this, let's actually see some debug outputs real quick. Our bot is just waiting out the night. What happened to his bed? He went and got a bed and then just ignored it. Bruh. Why? Where is your bed? Where did it go? Why can't we have nice things? Ooh, let's make this bigger over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Alrighty. But yes, Mind Flayer is got some problems. That's why we're trying to fix them as we go through this journey together. Well, we can't really. Oh, he's done now. He's finished with the night, so he's going to go and collect some logs again. There we go. So we set up a log point. Cannot access a temp log from debugger because we've got the log point in the wrong place. And so we're going to put it there, add log point, paste our thing, press go. And then the next time this runs, we should get our 3 little objects that go into search and collect materials. So whenever our bot runs a material collection request, we'll see a log pop up because it's attached to the actual process that's running our bot right now. And then we can start getting, you know, a bit of eyes on what the code is actually doing, which is kind of the trap of vibe coding. Is it's real easy to just forget that the code exists because you can generate massive amounts of it so goddamn quickly. Which is fine until it's not fine, and then it's not fine. And so we want to get a bit closer to our code and understand why he just stops here and doesn't mind the block just above his goddamn head. Stupid bot. But let's go and isolate where exactly that's happening. We need to wait for another collect block call for him to do that. So let's keep an eye on this. When's the next collect block call run? It is run in craft item, pick up, drop. It's running nowhere apparently. Come on, man. There we go, collect block. It's collecting 1 oak log now. So let's go and see what we got from our debug console. Nothing. Why not? Why we didn't get anything? Huh? Did that not run? Because it's not run every time. If not has exact target. I think we did have an exact target that time, did we? Now he's planting trees and eating mutton. Yeah, tool pol. Oh, yeah, he had an exact target. He said collect this specific XYZ, so he didn't run the search and collect materials action. Okay. So our actual logs then should start here. If he collects an exact target, he'll just go and do that. But if he doesn't have an exact target, then we do a search function and then collect. I feel like I'd prefer this just to be like a single function that handles both categories. So I'm already unhappy with that. But we'll go a bit further into this. Pandas. I'm telling the AI to add health bars for the player and party and to make the health bars have thick black lines to look a bit better. I'm assuming I should make the UI better too. It did look clean. Definitely looks clean. I feel like it's just adding some kind of color, some shape, and some movement and physics to it so that the UI feels a bit more alive. Is all I'd recommend. Like the health bars, right? Like having an actual bar and having kind of experience bar as well. So if you finish combat, you kind of get like this is where the creative aspect comes in. You can decide to make that louder or muted or more Paper Mario-esque or more Pokemon-esque, or, you know, you can do what you want with how loud you make these UI elements. But yeah, a bit more kind of tactile. And then things like badges, like, how much do you want people to interact with them? How do you want people to be introduced to them? If somebody is playing this for the first time, how do you onboard them onto your systems for the game and kind of make it clear, assuming that they haven't played Paper Mario? Yeah, because like if I'm playing this for the first time, I'm like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, but I want to be kind of handheld through the first couple of like sequences, so I know, oh, okay, this is where combat is, and it's like, oh wow, you just unlocked a badge for beating your first monster. Why don't you go and apply it to get like, some bonuses or whatever, that kind of stuff. Kind of like a tutorial, but like I feel like a tutorial is one way of doing it. You could also just have like more thinking about that like first time user experience, FTUE. What does this feel like when somebody onboards it, right? Like, the first time you played Zelda Breath of the Wild and you go through the little tutorial sequence, you do a little bit of combat, you get your stone tablet slate thingy, and then you walk outside and you have this like, rolling sweeping view of the world, and it's like gorgeous, and you're standing on a hill looking at it. That's a very thoughtfully designed onboarding experience, really to the point, gives you a couple of the base mechanics and how you move through the game, sends you out into the world, and then you've still got some things to take you on the next journey. So you go and get the glider, you've got a couple of objectives on the screen, but your world opens up onto this like, huge island where you can kind of go wherever you want and do whatever you want at first, right? But the multi-million-dollar project and Nintendo building this, thing to sell their systems and all of this. Of course, they're going to have like good people thinking about this, but there's a lot of thought put into that like process of how do you get into this game and how do you get that initial experience and that initial view of what's like possible, right? So definitely like think about what that feels like when you're introducing people to the game, because it's already so much good there. You just want to ease somebody into that loop that then you want them to continue. What's the game loop then? I go and I'm like fighting monsters to level up to fight a boss. What's stopping you from just like what makes the game feel worth playing? Like there are areas that you can't go to because you'll just get wiped out by monsters, or it's like gated or whatever, or you have to do something to earn more freedom. And then, how do you take somebody from, I don't know what this game is, to, oh, okay, I get what it is and I'm comfortable and this is fun and I want to go further and like go through the progression steps. Given how much you've been able to do so quickly, I feel like it's not a lack of capability to work with AI to set this up. It's more just that thought process of like, what are you catering for? Is it the systems and the overall game design, which is probably right to get first anyway, like the whole world? Or is it the player experience aspect of, how am I taking somebody that doesn't know what I want and to put them in the thing and get to play in the game? I want to get them hooked, right? Like you're selling drugs to kids. The drugs you're selling is the kids' own drugs. They don't like their own dopamine cycles, but you've still got to be somewhat of a salesman to sell somebody's dopamine to themselves, So make yourself a dopamine drug dealer while designing games. Now, as somebody that doesn't make games, don't listen to a word I say because I don't know any of this. I don't know what's important. I've never done game design in my life. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But become a dopamine drug dealer sounds like a funner way of thinking about it. Cool. We are seeing some of what our code is being given. We have debug evidence from our live bot that's playing the game right now. We've got requests, progress, and this attempt log to say how many times have you actually attempted it. So we're setting up some state to track our function running at the moment. We're looking for birch logs. We're looking for oak leaves. Interesting. Oak leaves aren't really droppable. I think there's a bit that talks about it actually being like a droppable thing. One of the things I do want is I'm going to run this as like a little background task for GPT. Close side chat. Let's put it in Mine AI. Hey, can you design or like look at how we would design a way for all of our Codex MCP requests to include a reasoning field? I think we would need like a base class that's like an action request that all of our actions accept. And it would require our AI to also provide its rationale for why it's calling that action as well. I think this will just make it easier to debug the AI's internal thoughts as to why it's doing things. What would that look like? Where would we put this? How hard would it be to do? Go and design something. Oh, I don't have a Discord. I probably should create one. I mean, I've got a Discord, but I haven't set it up to have a bunch of people. Maybe I should. Would you all join a Discord? Should we create a Discord server as a team? And then we can like share. We could have a channel for sharing vibe coded creations and see what other people are building. Probably should. Then it can be a persistent community. I reckon that'd be fun. All right, let me make a note of that. I'll look at setting that up today. So look out for a Discord tomorrow. Also the exclamation mark commands. I need to add a bot so that I can like respond to those things, right? I also haven't done that. But I've made an event for this. Let's go. Let's create a Discord. Ah, cool. Good thought, pandas. Alrighty. Back to the drawing board. I'm gonna start adding comments here. I don't think we need separate progress plus a temp log. Seems redundant. We could probably deny incorrect material searches up front. An exact Pathfinder search collection block call shouldn't need a different method, no? And we're going to put that back where it actually happened. So we're going to put this in collect block. Blocks here. Without coordinates, this is one general material search action, but even with coordinates, names one cell, honoring count as well would mine neighboring blocks the player never pointed at. I don't think this needs to have separate. I think this can all be one. So that's fine. But what I do want to find, if we jump back to, where is it? Search and collect materials. This one, like our key one. We want to improve some of these state tracking things, because we go into getting approach targets, calculating a set of before nodes and after nodes so that we can record material attempts. Material search attempt where we push our attempts onto it. This seems like it's more for tracking. There's like a bunch of code that we have here. It's not very well abstracted, so as much as I would love by hand writing out a whole bunch of interfaces, I'm probably not going to do that. But I do want to be across what's actually happening and have it organized in a bit more detail. So I'm gonna, no, we're not gonna do that. All right, we are cleaning up. What are we cleaning up? This function, search and collect materials. We want to, should we, for managing, tracking internal function state, tracking internal function state, do we need all of these? Should we create an interface for them or a separate object? I think we already created a, because these go into, like if you look at excluded targets, which goes into approach targets, which goes into before, which goes into a record material attempt. This thing already takes a material attempt log, a material search attempt type, and pushes an attempt there. And so the second thing it pushes is record material attempt and a whole set of fields that go into material search attempt, which can be a material collection attempt or a material approach attempt, which has all of these things. So it feels like we should just have a standard interface that's tracking all of this stuff, or a way to create it. And I need to figure out if we actually want this at all. Like, is it feeding anything I care about? Why don't you use an AI agent in your IDE? I mean, I could, because I'm kind of switching between ChatGPT and Claude and Quen, and you can add extensions for all of these. But like, more often than not, I'm just using the agent without the IDE. It's easier to organize across like loads and loads of projects in like a single AI interface for me, like running here, but also the big thing for me has been able with AI agents and desktop apps has been the ability to access them and continue conversations remotely. Like, I really appreciate being able to step out and send a message or check where something's out while I'm on my phone. And so the big thing that like the desktop agents give you, apart from like some of the integrations, like, you know, first class MCP support, so they can hit all of the MCPs, which you can do from browser extensions as well. Browser control, which is more built into the like desktop programs so that they can easily like open up a browser in their own program and do stuff. But it's more the mobile access. And I haven't tested, to be fair, I haven't tested like codecs and VS Code and if that integrates nicely into the desktop app experience and lets you still use it from a mobile phone. But those are the things that I would prioritize over the convenience of having something in the one window. I did add, like I was setting up NeoVim yesterday or the day before on my other profile, and I added like a sidekick ability so I could open up Oh My Pi in like a terminal window beside like, so you could easily like press a hotkey and send like a question to your AI agent. But otherwise, like the IDE integration is more just a way to like, yeah, have that flexibility of like highlighting stuff and being like, we want to address this, can we do it? I prefer the ability to like talk to phone and have like all of the other like desktop-y features. But like, if I was doing this more and I was using VS Code as my main IDE, I probably would opt into some of the nicer like agent features. Like I've already got codecs here. Navigates, edits, runs commands, and executes tests directly in your repo powered by your GPT account. Hand off codecs in the cloud. So maybe it was all integrated together. Turn to-dos into codecs tasks. Sure. It does seem to be linked in, so maybe it's all just one cohesive experience. Maybe I should just be using this, because this is already hitting this, right? So if it's all one cohesive experience, then just using the extension here gives you the same codecs level, but like integrated into VS Code. It's probably easier to just do that. And then I could just jump between the two. Good thought. My biggest problem is that I don't usually use VS Code. I'm usually like, why would I use VS Code if I can use NeoVim? So I'm like, or why would I look at like an IDE at all if I'm like just vibing on 7 projects at once? But I think for a main project, these integrations seem like they're pretty good. Use it wherever the hell you want. It's true. True. Thank you, Tyler. Welcome to the chat. That's not necessary. I would not pull all of it into one large interface. Yeah. Stop his terminal result, that's fine. Private interface if you plan to extract an approach round helper. Progress is the aggregate collection. Attempt log is bounded per round diagnostic. All right, well, let's leave all of these for now. I want to go a bit deeper into here. Load material targets. Let's have a look at what's going on here. If we don't have a find blocks function, then return. Otherwise, we use find blocks and we look for block matches selector, concrete name, normalize resource name, block family for selector. Return family name, block families, and this block families gives us things like all of the logs in one family. But if we wanted to get like all of the stones like granite and cobblestone and all of that stuff, looks so much better with stylized HP bars and XP bars and level up. Hell yeah. Are you updating like instantly on itch.io or do you like push an update after you make a set of changes, Panda? Block family by alias. Interesting. Block name ends with log. Yep, okay. This is for like resource matching. That's fine. And ores ordinary deep slate variants are one material family for search and collection, while exact and non-ore selectors stay exact. Blocks that can usually break into nothing and only sometimes yield that we have mapped out there as well. But this is just getting block matches selector. Does it have a family name? If it does have a family name, then we say, does the family of the block match the concrete name, which is, what is this doing? Block families, family name, find the family name for the requested resource, which is just stripping out Minecraft from the resource name. Get the family by looking up block families, like turning log, turning any of the log, like oak log or like birch log, into log. And so this will give us log. And then we say block families, log, at family name, dot matches concrete name. So does the log, so find all of the logs. If you ask for oak log, find all of the logs anyway. Otherwise, if there's no family name for it, so if it's not a log, then just return concrete name equals requested, which is, because we're running this block matches selector over everything under find blocks. What defines find blocks? This is a Mindflayer thing, right? Pandas. I have to update the itch.io. Let me verify everything looks good. Telling it to fix a sprite. Yeah, no, like make a bunch of changes, and I'll have another look at the like sweet updates. Mindflayer find blocks. Does Mindflayer have block finder plugin? We've got a plugin for it. Point matching max distance. Does Mindflayer have docs? Yes. Does it have actual like API docs? Like, yeah, cool. And then we're looking for find blocks. Here. Find blocks, function that returns true if the given block is a match. Gotcha. Use extra info. Max distance radius, we customize that. And so we're calling that with 64 by default, and we turn up to 64 blocks. So that can return like everything. Then from that, we map it. What do we do with that? Return that, map the position, so floor the position of all of them, and then filter to block matches selector, block at position dot name, block at position dot name selector. Why are we doing selector twice? What is this? Why are we doing selector twice? Why did you do this? How do we add can we add add to codex thread? Nice. Why are we doing block at position twice? Block matches selected twice. Block.name selector. Block matches selector. Block at position name selector. It's like we don't trust what it returns us the first time. Like we return a bunch of blocks, then we go and get their positions, and then we go and get the name of the block at that position, and then we check it again. Synchronously applies. We shouldn't. Second block matches. Yeah, it's redundant. Okay, we'll remove it then. Thank you. Okay, but from this, what we should get is, let's add a log point here. And we're gonna add targets. Oh no, not this one. We're gonna add, oh no, we should add there, yeah. We're just gonna add, what do we add? What do you add before for this? We had a side chat for this. What's log point syntax for printing object? Just rapid embraces. Okay. I see. We just can put that in targets equals targets. Great. Okay, we'll clear that and wait till that triggers again to keep an eye on it, because we've got our bot running in the background. Like, wait, do we have him running? Yeah, we do. We have him trying to run. You can see him following a path to another tree here, just collecting logs all day, every day. Good bot. Keep going. Was that a collect block call? Question mark? Oh, because these are exact collect block calls. Why do we have exact collect block calls? I feel like this is the more interesting question because he is using those a lot for now. Collect blocks. Work budget, work deadline, tool selection, let dog equals 0. While dog is lower than count, rejected targets dot size is lower than collect failed candidate limit. Collect target too far, bot dot look at. So we have a whole bunch of error handling. We find a named select safe collect candidates. We find a named block. And then we're handling a whole bunch of tool problem logic. And then we try doing some digging. And we try digging. Interesting. What's the... Why? Because if we're collecting a single block, what we should just do is go and use the same logic that we've got in like search and collect blocks. Like I think they should just be one function, right? When we load material targets, like the only difference between collecting arbitrary blocks with a selector and like collecting a single block with a selector is like the arguments to this. And then this will get you a single target if you're selecting a single block. And then you go and mine that block, right? Like this does a search, but it should also have like a selector that accepts one thing. And if we go and have a look at the API for this, does this have, no, because that's doing a find blocks. Yeah, it's a difference between when you're, interesting. Okay, let's stay in VS Code. Let's say, I think collect blocks, and what's the other one? Collect blocks and search for, or is it search and collect materials? Collect materials could be a single function. Change my mind. Interesting. So you can see some include context from IDEs such as selection states and open files here. Yeah, so this is like straight up a wrapper interface for ChatGPT here to go between the two. I've got Codex. Do I have Claude? Let's add Claude as well. Only half change your mind. They should be one public action, but not one implementation body. Collect blocks, search and collect blocks. That reentry is the smell, two underlying responsibilities. I disagree. A single collection is a campaign for one. Well, last thing I'm editing is the key. Key menu looked clean but kind of bland. I asked ChatGPT to add a grayscale faded background collageable of any monsters, so I think that will help. Nice. Good. You're right, exact target versus search target is a targeting policy. Yep, we'll keep the helpers, keep all the methods. Let's implement a clean version now. And I will review it. Keep all the methods, review it, keep old functions, but wire in the new one. So at the risk of replacing slop with more slop, I want to compare. I want our material collection function to make a lot of sense and be a lot more clean. And given that we vibe coded all of this stuff beforehand, I want to vibe code a cleaner version that makes sense to me and then get it to just delete everything that it created before and collapse this to like a set of actions that I'm actually happy with. So me reading through and debugging is kind of so that I'm building my own understanding of what's happening in a sensible way and then reducing it. Things like search and collect materials is called by collect blocks, which goes into this function, which then goes back and calls collect blocks again. And so you've got this crazy like recursive loop where it can call itself depending on like the arguments it's given. Way too overcomplicated, right? There's also a lot of like tracking and progress on like attempt management stuff happening here. I think that this file can be like greatly simplified. And yeah, just some of the shit code that it wrote, I'm like, it's time to be a lot closer to the actual logic about what's happening here. I mean, we've got a bot that can run around and do stuff, and he seems like he is somewhat capable and keeps building himself into trees. But whenever if you see if you see this kind of pattern where he has decided the action doesn't work very well, and so he's defaulted to just saying, I'm going to collect this exact block here, right? He's already worked out that this code is shit, and he's working around it by like calling exact functions to chop wood, right? Rather than just like a policy. Go and collect another 20. Go and collect this. Go and collect that. Hey Chong, ha ha ha, what's the goal for today? The goal for today is woodcutting. We're cutting wood. Our observer app is up and running, so my goal text probably doesn't actually make sense now. Let me change this. Goal to today, redo collect blocks. So it is more trustworthy, more reliable. Our AI will not be beating the Ender Dragon if we cannot make the actions that the AI calls dependable, trustworthy, sensible, more minimal. I vibe coded all of this so far, and it is time to start unslopifying some of the shit that it has vibe coded. And so we're reading through some of the functions, and we're going to delete the current implementations, replace them with another implementation, and make sure that we're across it and that we're happy with it. Because as we read through the code and try and get our heads around whatever the hell it's doing, I'm not super happy with it at this point, which is fine, right? Like this is a process of understanding, but it's time to get a lot deeper into the code to actually make our way towards beating this Ender Dragon. And we start that by chopping wood consistently, well, reliably. We want our bot to just be able to say, go and get 20 logs, and for him to get 20 logs every single time without fail. We want that to make sense. But that's going to require our pathfinding to be reliable, which it cannot be sometimes. That's going to require our observability to be good, which sometimes it's not. So we're chopping logs. We're going to be cutting wood all day. That's what's on the cards for today. We have implemented a new function, and it starts from 889. So let's go down and start having a look at this. So this is our apparently clean new function. Let's have a read. We start the function with some type definitions. Material campaign. Oh no, okay. So this is an entire another implementation. Why can the campaign stop? What's the route state? Consecutive stuck count. If we're getting stuck all the time, I feel like this is handling errors that we should just fix rather than try and report and work our way around it and complain a lot. Again, we're looking for dependability, not something that complains really well. Material target transaction. Block name, drop name, source position, dug, pickup confirmed, mined without drop, inventory discard, unconfirmed drop. Okay. Okay, so we've got some route tracking. Let's find out what our new thing is doing. Mine material target. Mine one selected campaign target and report observations to the campaign ledger. Okay, so we've got a single function for mining a single block. And then we go down. And then we've got a general one that says collect materials. And this should be our primary public interface. Yes, allow. Don't ask for approval. Approve for me. Run stuff. So this should be our entry point. Collect block action. Collect block name count. That's what we tell it, right? We've got a context action context, so that's fine. This existed already, which extends optional block coordinates and tool selection, tool policy, tool name, and route lighting. Okay, so this single action is extended in a couple of ways to include extra interface specs, XYZs. Cool. Let's jump back to here. Base request, material collection request. Normalize the name. How many are requesting? What's the deadline? That's fine. If we have a selector, Oh, if we don't have a selector, say we need a block name, fair enough. Do we have an exact target? If we have an exact target, then we can turn that into a vector. Then we create a material collection request. Selector, requested, deadline. Which includes exact target 1, base text, yeah. So if we have an XYZ, then we turn that into, we're just requesting 1. Create progress, create a temp log, create route state, create rate lighting, diagnostics, tool selection session, policy, tool name, target, tool names, context. Okay, cool. So for managing our tools, makes sense. Inventory counts before. Expected drop names is what we're looking for. Inventory discards, in case we need to drop stuff to mine stuff, in case we have a full inventory, I guess. Material campaign stop. If exact target, we're checking the target distance. If it's beyond 12, collect too far. I feel like, but why? Why can't this run with the same? Can't this run with the same distance limit of our full material collection? From Zanar, what model is running with your Minecraft bot? Our Minecraft bot is being run by Codex on, I believe, Luna, but it may be Terra if it's taken after the other bot that I was running. Let me attach, let me go to here. Let's find out. I believe this is all set up in config, in not logs, not examples. In here, but I don't know if we've got the model. I've got GPT, the pricing for both of them there, but I don't think we've got the model for it. Let's ask. Well, let's see where it could be configured. Architecture model. No. No. Woodcutter MD, current state, architecture doctrine. Oh, this is all markdown stuff. Where's our JS? Scenario JS? Whoa, no, these are for testing. Where did our MCP server setup end up? These are all like JSON files. MCP reference page. Man, where is everything here? It's not under it there. It could be under benchmarks. No, we didn't put it under there. Config decommissioned. Should be under packages. Not scenario lab, not scripts. Should be under here, under MCP, under server. Actually, it's probably more so under roles. Let me open a second one of these while that's working away. Where is our where are our roles model configured? Is that hard to go to? Let's find out. Thank you. Like the GitHub search. Terra definitely has to be overkill. I was doing this with Luna for the first set. Like the first 3 were definitely running with Luna. I wanted to see how it would run with Terra yesterday. It's overkill, but like at least you know that it's doing the best it can with the tools it's got. And so all of the faults, then you blame the tools, and then you're like, oh, what's wrong with these goddamn tools? And that's kind of where I want to be spending my time and attention. Defined in Codex role supervisor right here. Okay, so it's definitely running with Luna. That should move for config. That should move to config alongside the to config, right? Model selection should move plus reasoning. Should move to config, no? Yeah, config Minecraft play profiles.json. That's where I think it should be. Yep, agree. Please move. This is under the codex roles supervisor.ts that actually then kicks this off. So if we make this smaller and we make this a bit smaller, I think thought Regal prompts are all in the one place too. Interesting. There's a lot of like server management code that this ends up generating to like keep an eye on stuff. I do wanna have this configured in some central place though. Oh man, I was gonna like give warning that ads were about to start. Turns out I can't turn ads off. I was like, oh, well, I guess ads are a choice, but I believe ads are just part of the like Twitch platform. So ads, I have control on the length and when, and like I can trigger ads whenever I want. And I can snooze them if I'm in the middle of something, but I can't turn them off. Interestingly, this is part of, I think the second you hit Twitch affiliate, you agree that like ads are just part of the deal, unless you're like a subscriber. I'm hoping that most of you are like subscribers now. We did get an anonymous donator the other day that gifted 10 subs. Thank you, anonymous lords. I appreciate you, whoever you are. So that means that for the next month, if I stream regularly, we should hopefully have a bunch of chatters that are ad-free. Regal prompt, continuation prompt, positive integer. Nah, okay. Let's go back to resources. Let's find out what's happening here. Sure. Let's revert this change. And then let's put exact target distance. Why would this be conditional? Same distance for both, no. If something wants to change, or if we do have conditionals, like it should be up to the AI to decide on how far it looks for things, I think. Unless there's a good reason to do it, which we should include as like justification. Like, why do we have this? Well, not stop and progress gained is below requested, and date now is lower than request.deadline. Let's jump back to here. Allow. Regressions pass, including an exact target test that throws if the executor tries to scan for a substitute. But this is much cleaner, right? If we've got an exact target, look at it. If the block we're looking at, because we've requested an exact target, doesn't match, then we say, the block coordinates that you gave us don't match the block that's there. Then we go load material targets. If there's not an exact target, then we look for targets. If we can't find any, then we say, we can't find anything you're looking for. So then you have to go exploring to find stuff. That's fine. Well, then we take our available targets and we .filter targets.filter candidate not route.excluded targets. This comes from our campaign route state with excluded targets. Where do we even load that from? We create it, but where does it get populated? It doesn't get populated with anything right now. Oh, keep an eye on it. Cool. Maybe it gets added like I guess added down here when we start like going through the route. I see. Route that excluded targets like set. Okay, so we add it here. So this is all happening inside a loop. So this is going to be like self-referential. So we look for our targets. We check if we've got Pathfinder. We go through and find bots that we can look at. Available targets, find the block. Can we dig the block? Do we have the direct line of sight? If we don't have any block that we can look at, then we go and find named save collect candidates. Prop updated. Hey, pandas, time to do a little playtest, right? interrupting my debugging session. How dare you? Nah, you're fine. I'll let this bot like actually see what it can see. Background image to UI for party seconds. Map UI, updated health bars look better. Have the experience bar show up when the player doesn't level up. That would be nice. All right, we go back and we play it again. I want to see these. Let's get rid of this one. H. Can I continue? No readable adventure save file was found. Shame.
A book of infinite.
All right, we've seen the prologue. Let's go. Give me these progress bars. Cool. So we get told what we're gonna do. We strike. Press space or A when it reaches that. Cool. Oh, we can guard as well. Lol. I didn't even notice that. Much better though. Perfect guard. Excellent. Cool. The world is now ready for you to explore. One last lesson, walk to the northern ledge. Yep, we can jump off the... Do we get experience for that one? Or not? Let me scroll back down. Hit I key. Oh, nice. That's a nice faded background. I like if you're on settings, it smushes it all together. So all of the monsters are overlapping because like the height is too low. And so it overlays all of the monsters together. But if you're on inventory, they're all nice and spread out on badges. Can I equip all of the badges? No. You unlock more badge power to equip more stuff with levels. I see. What the hell? Oh, no, I'm gonna miss that one. Down to the ground we go. Donk. Alright. Hey, the monsters are showing up now. Look at that. The menu has got to be quieter though. This menu? Hold on, let me tone it down a bit. Is that better? Is that better than R? Ah, I missed it. I feel like for let's update that. Oh shit, I'm straight into a combat straight after it. God damn. Oh, the blowing sound. Yeah, okay. There's some feedback, pandas. you gotta put it down a little bit. Oh, let me put this. Let me put desktop audio down. How's that? You don't like that? The relaxing sound of. Alright, let me heal up. I think for the guard pandas, it just cuts through the mix so much. I've turned desktop audio down a bunch. I hope that actually carried through. I think for the guard pandas, you should do like one of those like rhythm game rings where it like has the rhythm come in. So like has the like circle come in and you've got to press it when it overlaps the like circle thing. You know? So like if I strike and then attack, that this thing should like show some timing indication because it just goes green, which I can do, but it's a little bit hard. And then you can like change the speed of that or make it like non-linear if you do want it harder for like other monsters. Oh. Yeah. And now I'm in combat again, bro. Panda skill. All right, cool. That's what I want. Cool. This is just like an endless combat simulator at this point. Ah shit. Oh, I can't use my technique. I got technique points. Hey, there we go. There we go. Now we've leveled up. Now I can add more stamina. And we're up to level 7. It does look a lot better. We still don't have a we still don't have a I want to beat this to see if it can. So we get plus 15 XP and plus 10 coins, but it doesn't show you the XP bar unless you level up. But the fun of XP is that you want to like feel like you're making progress even when you don't level up. So you want levels to come slowly and you want like the XP bar to as it's like going up. Like, you know, still missing some you know, some pizzazz. Still missing some pizzazz. And also I've got billions of monsters and ended up in combat 3 times with like no delay. You should have like once you're in combat, there's nothing close to you for a little bit, so you have to avoid monsters or don't immediately end up in another battle. Or yeah, you can like run away real quick. But no, looking good. Again, progress, the trajectory, the gradient descent of this game from where it is into greatness, you know, no problems. Looking good. Keep it up. Next time I play, more of the polish. Think about more of those gameplay elements. Do a bunch of play testing. But again, you know, this is the bling we want. This is the dopamine fuel of becoming a dopamine dealer that we're looking for. Love to see it. Keep it up. Okay. Where are we at? We were reading through this. There is a lot of error handling here. I feel like reading through the function, it's like 95% like error handling and like 5% logic. And there's a lot of conditionals that we're already like running into. Refresh kit. So run observable pathfinder job to get to our goals if it's not an exact path. If selected position. If selected position, then we go through and do a bunch of stuff because it's a selected position. Fuck, this is a long function. And then we finally return our action result all the way down here. Nearest alternative target, nearest excluded target, progress? Do we gain the drops from getting it if unconfirmed drops? Do we like dig stuff here? There is a lot of stuff happening here. Okay, restart MCP server and verify it keeps running. Verify it is operational. Called by our codex, but let's run this. There's just a lot happening in one function. It's also very dark. Why is it so dark? Are we stuck inside? I think we're. Oh, I see. Our woodcutter is hiding from the monsters. Not very well though. Hiding poorly. We'll restart him though. I still can't help but feel this is kind of still sloppish and we should do some simplification. What I do like is how we start now. You know, we declare a set of constants that measure reasonable things. We track if we mine something and we didn't get the drop. We do a bit of tracking for that. We have a very explicit material campaign stop with a set of reasons why it could stop. I like the way that we start this TypeScript function now, but there's still things that I'm a little bit unsure about. If we've got an exact target, so we figure out our targeting here. And we basically initialize our targets to a list of size 1 for an exact target. Good. Otherwise, we do a search for it. Good. Happy with that. But I feel like thank you for the help. By the way, it makes me feel good. Oh man, you should be proud of how far you've come, and your experience building out things with agents and some of the roadblocks you hit, but also the progress you can make. Just look forward to that inevitable plateau where you stop being able to make progress as quickly on some things, or you'll get like weird bugs and like you spend a lot of time dealing with that. Software development will still come and bite you in the ass at some point. But you gotta keep on the golden road, keep on building, keep on learning. And as it builds the code, try and spend some time like reading through the code, understanding it, getting closer to what's actually running as well. This is like where you'll actually get your learning and get your like runs on the board, getting closer to what's happening under the hood as well. If you're looking at code and it doesn't make any sense, that's the opportunity. What's it actually doing? Why is it doing it? How do we make it better? Let's see what's happening. We've got our bot, he's running again. What's going on with our observer here? Navigate, go near, digging limited. Collect block, oak log, 1 exact wooden axe. Try doing collect block calls for multiple blocks with best tool. Be a bit more general. Let's see if we can influence his behavior. Navigate near. Oh, he's still not listening to me yet. Try again. Inspect environment. Seems like he's running his own calls. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Say yes with chat, please. I don't know if that dude's listening to us. Bruh, what are you doing? Just ignored me. Bro. Oh, he tried. Oh, interesting. That failed. Session state conflict. Interesting. All right, let's go and investigate that. He can't respond? Oh, he did it. Message, yes. Command class world action is not admitted while session state is foreground running. Interesting. So this is a session error. But after that foreground action finished, then he can say yes. Collect block, reports drop timeout after confirmed inventory game. Spec volume. Collect blog. Let's try it. Can you try just collecting 20 blocks? Stop doing them one by one. Let's see if we can tell him to do something. Cool. Collect 20 blocks. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Session state conflict. So he called collect block, was waiting till return, and then started getting session state conflicts. Interesting. We're getting session state conflicts. Here's the old codex session stopped. Good question. Model context protocol. Const chat. Why is this running? That's like a... Wait, did he run a command? Interesting. All right, let's add a log point. Request equals request. Let's find out what this is showing us when this is called. Request equals request. Targets is not defined. That's fine. Speaking of which, actually, why is that fine? Because it's... All right, cool. All right, cool. We've got debugger running. Can we restart? We might need to restart codex process to get the new MCP tools. Yeah, I think we're meant to do mine AI roles and show fresh each time. So like, there's a codex process and we're just running actual codex, like the codex CLI restricted to not like read only. So like it read only stuff and it's configured with the MCP server. And so this would let you basically put this MCP server in any tool. Like you could put it in Claude, in Codex, in a voice agent if it supports MCP. You could put it in, you could put it like over a public address and then like get ChatGPT, your actual app, to go and like play Minecraft for you. But I think that means it can run commands, and also you have to have it like restart to pick up MCP server changes. Add time, by the way, for a minute. I'll pause and let ads run. I'll pause and let these ads run quickly. Also, why is this not? There you go. We'll put that there. How did bot go? He's disappeared. There he is. Oh. He's eating raw meat again. This guy's a problem. Let's check what's happening with our session handling. Reading food, that's fine. Inspect environment. Where's our most recent failure? We've got a failure, live codex. Ah, here we go, failures only. Cool, collect block. Let's address this then. We've got a failure, session state conflict. Foreground.running. We seem to have session state failures all of a sudden. Where are these coming from? So I think if we go back up to our session handling, where is it? Runtime, sessions, safety pipeline, session state machine. We've got foreground.running. We've got a state machine that defines all of the different events that we can have and the states our session can be in. Command order. Inspect policy update, control commands, these ones, all live commands. So we have a set of commands, and then we have a session state conflict, this one. So we're calling session command admission. Cool. Session command admission. Where is this being called from? References. Let's make this smaller so we can see more of this. Make this bigger. Session actor. Admission. Okay, references for this one goes into session.ts. Cool. Session actor. Ooh, hold on. It goes into this one. Set hostile policy. We want admissions in here. And this is under execute. So execute is what the MCP server would be calling to run actions. We go through, we check if we can run it, record error, reject admission. This is a general purpose thing. Const admission equals actor admission world action. Is it accepted? If not, we reject it. Prepare foreground requests a bounded handoff from lower priority idle work. Prepare foreground, actor admission world action. If we're busy, then we fail. So this is all about like handling what the model wants to do. Failures come from overlapping codex callers, not from, base foreground, became foreground running. Another caller submitted that. The woodcutter task had 3 in progress codex turns. Journal contains 7 conflicts. Long actions amplified 2. When it times out after 60 seconds, the server-side action can remain active briefly. Codex control layer. All turns. In Codex itself, we're spawning the Codex process with MCP tools, and it's meant to be handling action calls. I think this is more likely to happen when we have old parallel Codex instances running at the same time. Is that happening? I feel like so like these errors are most likely to happen if we've like left. Like we've just got multiple like Codex sessions running at the same time. But they all seem pretty successful at the moment. Last failure was a minute ago. Oh, we got our first log point. There we go. Cool. What happened here? Selector oak log. We requested 20. Deadline, whenever the hell that is. So let's put a log point here and we'll print out targets and available targets. Cannot access available target. Oh, because we've put it in the wrong place. Of course we have. Of course we've put it in the wrong place. Can I adjust it? We can just turn it off. That's fine. Delete. And then we'll put one there. There we go. Okay, Pathfinder. Parallel execution is happening. One supervisor. Not multiple that. 2 continuation owners. Enabling Codex's persistent goal. Manually invokes exec resume. Both scheduled turns for the same thread. Manually direct verification follow-up added another temporary driver. Journal provides overlapping execution. Remove /goal. Let Codex role supervisor exclusively own the explicit resume loop. Keep /goal. Remove the supervise manual continual loop. Okay, let's remove goal. But because this could this be when Codex spawns subagents? Because we want to assume that like Codex, if it's running, is on a single thread. Codex should be told to only make calls on its main thread. Could be the case. I hear skeletons nearby. Oh, there's one. There's a skeleton. Holding a little bow. Just chilling. I feel like we're dealing with some weird, like, multi-threading Codex calling nonsense. But also the this Codex role supervisor can resume a particular thread, but it shouldn't be able to call things multiple. All right, we'll remove /goal. That's fine. That's fine. We'll remove /goal and see if it helps. But I'm pretty sure this is like running at a single threaded. If we haven't made any MCP calls for a while, exec JSON model, C model reasoning effort, C sandbox mode, read only. So this is what's calling our codex process. Common is going to be call it with the profile. Never approve stuff. Give it an MCP server. Model catalog JSON. Tell it what models it can use. Check if we've got any environment overrides. But then we do our invoke cycle. Spawn invocation.command, which is going and finding wherever the hell codex lives. Damn, that really fucking looks for codex. Look for everywhere it could possibly be in any node module's package root or prefix, and then run it. Crazy. Crazy. All right. As much as I'm sure that you're dying to see how we're going to handle forcing codex to stay single threaded so that it doesn't like fire off multiple competing MCP calls and hit session state management bugs in our Minecraft action layer like this. I'm sure you're riveted by this, but it's not really related to the logic of like chopping wood. And I've also been streaming for like 3 hours now. So I might wrap it up, take a break, and jump on tomorrow for more fun and see if I can boil this single function down to something much more reasonable than, what is this? Mine material targets is currently a how many lines of code is that? Does it tell us how many lines of code it is? Go to line column, spaces 2. Where's my selected thing? That's characters selected, but that's not that. All right. 900, what is it? 939 to 1388. 300 lines of code, 400 lines of code for that. And then this is the old one. So I don't know if we need a 400 line of code function. Maybe we can abstract some of this detail out into something that's a bit more prettier and reusable, but I would like this file for collecting logs to not be 1700 lines of code, if possible. Or if it is, like, have a very good story about why it is. I mean, there is a lot of stuff happening here. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up now, spend a bit more time looking at this, and I'll be on tomorrow for more of this fun. Because getting this action library right and understandable and not ridiculous is going to be the key to us eventually beating Minecraft. But we're going to do the reps. We're going to spend some time. We're going to have the things that make sense to be in this function. I would like to separate it in terms of core logic to actually going and gathering resources and separate that out from the things that are like wrapping. Like I want error handling to not be flooding a whole bunch of lines in the like main function. I still want it to be happening, but like if we could just have like a generic stop for this reason, like stop.reason collect target mismatch, and then like all of the formatting and stuff live separately for all of these so that you can see very clearly what's happening, because there's just too much to fit on any single screen right now. So I want to reduce it like a lot. It'll just make debugging in future a lot easier too, to see like where things go wrong and where your logic breaks apart. But there's too many mixed concerns in a single function for me to like read through it and be like, oh cool, this is what's happening and this is why it's important. Like I get the gist, but it just doesn't feel clean. So we're going to spend some more time doing that. Dealing with session state management problems is like a different kettle of fish. Pick up, drop, inspect environment, do this. Let's go. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this stream up for now. It's been good. It's been, 2 hours, just over 2 hours. I tend to stream for a bit too long, like 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. So I'm gonna try and keep them a bit shorter so that I can go and do other stuff like eat food as well. Wait, AI can play Minecraft? Hey, Mr. Demon Wolf. Yes, AI is playing Minecraft. Well, AI is trying to play Minecraft. It has some. Thank you. It has some room for improvement, I will say. But you can see we are, it's playing. Let me drag this over. Let me make this main screen and stuff. There you go. Desktop content. It's running around. It's doing stuff. I gave this bot the very pure mission of like just chopping wood all day long every day, and it's reasonably doing so. It's doing better than it was before. So its pure mission is to survive and chop. That's a very astute guess that it's Codex, because it is indeed Codex. Yes. So the goal is that we're going to beat the Ender Dragon. But before we can beat the Ender Dragon, we need to beat wood. Make it a bit more reliable. But even to beat wood, to stay alive for an extended period of time and beat wood, you have to have a layer where the AI plus a bot layer can like handle exactly. Not just wood, hard wood. Hard wood that you need to punch with your fists. Fisted wood. Yes, we need to deal with fisting wood first before we can beat the Ender Dragon. One step at a time. One hand at a time is how we're gonna overcome this game. Ayo. What's this guy? Oh, fuck me. Yes, no. We're gonna fist some wood. We're gonna make it a bit more reliable. We're gonna deal with some of the errors. I have too many errors popping up still with arbitrary things. Each error becomes something that our AI has to then overcome to get to do basic things. And so if our AI is kind of wild that I'm using Windows and on light mode. Hey, look, we are where we are. We're on Windows so that I can play games easier, and because more stuff is supported on it for now. But if I was working, I would absolutely be on a Mac, or I'd be quitting my job. Light mode. I feel like most of the complaints I get about the stuff that I build is why the hell isn't it dark mode? Interestingly enough. Interestingly enough, I feel like that is the common feeling about most of the people that I talk to. They're like, why the hell are you using light mode for anything? And my room is very bright. Light mode just makes it easier for me to see. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe once you you hit a certain you hit a certain age, you just start preferring the light. I don't know. Also, I think our bot is dying of hunger. He hasn't been managing his food very well. See, this is why he's going to kill a cow. Like, AI can play Minecraft, man. AI can play Minecraft. I have that MacBook Pro with dark mode and drink Starbucks coffee. I mean, I'm in Australia. We don't do Starbucks down here. we have so many coffee shops per capita. You can walk into any like suburb and you've got like 35 coffee shops to choose from. And yes, I do have an AI webcam. Thank you. I appreciate all of the notices of the mic and the webcam. We've been set up for streaming, so it can follow us around. It's on a gimbal, so it can like track you. You can also do things like you can, actually I don't know if this hand tracking is. I think I might have turned this one off, but it has a gesture where you can zoom in and out with your hand, but like you got to do this gesture. You got to call yourself a loser to do it. But yes, we've got a moving webcam. We've got a moving webcam. Appreciate the appreciation for the tech, my friend. I've been streaming for about a month now. It's still pretty new. We haven't done a bunch of things. You can do the tracking if you use your iPhone. Yeah. I think Apple added a whole bunch of good features into being able to like use your phone for control of stuff. The camera and webcam scene definitely came a very long way, I think, with COVID. I spent more money to start streaming than most streamers. Well, I mean, I had a really old camera beforehand, and it didn't really handle the because I've got like a full like window of like natural light like right next to us, so I need a camera that can handle like the different like lighting conditions, and so it just didn't look very good at first. I was like, look, it's worth to get it. And cameras, like reasonably good cameras, are not that expensive these days. You can get one for a few $100. So I mean, if I'm going to be streaming regularly, I'm that kind of viber, which is the kind of vibe coder that uses dev boxes. Honestly, I really need to get myself a dev box because there are a bunch of Docker server stuff that I just want to run and not have to restart every time I restart my computer. My current PC is my dev box at the moment. And sometimes running those like very long running loops, you just need something on all the time. But I just leave my desktop on all the time, and that's just my dev box for now. But I have been thinking like, man, I really need like an always on thing that I can just leave connected to my internet and like run all the time. It's the meta right now. You just need to have like a local PC to run your run your subscriptions on all the time. Run my codecs and Claude on a free VPS. It only has 2 ARM cores now and 12 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, like you don't need something at all. I could literally just buy one secondhand and plug it in. It does not need to be good. Need to do it. Just need to do it. What the hell is this guy running? Oh, he died over here. He's going to get his stuff. Gotcha. These bots are so intelligent, man. Love them. Your Mac Mini M1 is your home lab. 2 ARM cores and 12 gigabytes of RAM. Nice. Maybe, I don't think I need a Mac Mini. I could probably run what I actually need to run on a fucking Raspberry Pi. Just performance max the shit out of it. I've been doing more things with Rust, the language of the gods, recently. Building Tory apps. Gorgeous. I just transferred a whole thing that I had built as a web app into a Tory app and installed it on Android. Rust and performance. I feel like I'm right where I'm meant to be from a tech perspective. Free server, real VPS. How do you get a free VPS? Where's that from? Are they handing them out like candy now, or what the hell? UN has good RAM and CPU plus it's low power. I could do. I've been thinking about it. Mac Mini can also run Linux. Can. I mean, I'm happy enough with Mac software. Some people aren't like a fan of it and think it takes too many resources. Like I saw Theo T3 like complaining about Mac Minis, and he's like, look at how good I can run this on Linux. Linux is the best. I hate Mac. He is an asshole. I'm like, what do you mean? I like Macs. Macs are great, man. Try dealing with the Windows. Oh man, I feel like I'm godless every time I like have PowerShell being written to run scripts rather than Bash. Makes me sad. It's wild we went to loving his MacBook to now hating it. Like, bro, that guy has fluctuating. Dude, he's dodging arrows. Dude, this AI is cooked. Look at him go. He's dodging arrows. Oh, he almost dodged until he got shot in the back of his head. I want to run a bit further. You got auto modded. I allowed it. You sure you don't want to fight him? I think our combat needs a bit of work. I can't help but feel something's tipping me off to our combat needing a little bit of work, honestly. He just hates whoever does not pay him enough. Honestly, if I could be paid to not hate people. Thing is, like, I feel like there's a lot of tech influencers that are already paid to, you're paid to support things. Like the amount of cursor ads I see recently. Yet I've never used cursor and don't ever see a need to use cursor, and so I feel like unless their composer models were actually gonna be cheap enough and good enough and like work well enough to justify like running against GPT 5.6 or Opus or Fable, like I don't see any. I don't know. Have you ever used Composer? Have you ever used Cursor? Like it was super popular for a while, but like used to be a mid vibe coder, but now you're a vibe maxer. AI runs everything. The thing is, from like throughout this year, AI has gone from in November, oh wow, it can actually write code, to now it's like shit, it can like write big chunks of code very quickly and like reasonably well. And you can just hands off certain things that you don't need to care about the performance or the qualities of it like super deeply. It has come a very long way. GitHub was the only one you used. And now you've got Codex, you've got Claude, you've got it like building all manner of things for you. Come a long way, right? We got back. Wait, how did he get back? Pick up, drop. Pick up, drop, pick up, drop, pick up, drop, navigate, return to surface, navigate. How the fuck did he get back? Huh. I feel like he just somehow figured out how to teleport back. That's not an action I support. What the hell? Oh, did you get back? Crazy. Just spend $400 a month on AI is all you need. Dude, I have only been able to get through a $200 a month Codex plan once. This last month. Like, I'm clearly not running enough loops. But when I do run loops, they just do dumb shit. You know? I feel like it can do some amazing things, but when it comes to like anything kind of complex or anything involving like deep logic or, like this, build an MCP layer that will let Minecraft play throughout the whole game. It just still writes shit code. And I want Fable plus level models to come out and write less shit code and do things that are reasonable. And I feel like they're coming, but I feel like right now you don't need $400 a month on both of the AIs to keep them running all the time, because you're still spending a reasonable amount of time cleaning up after them. I think there are like reasons why you do care about like spending a lot, like using it with voice mode, using Codex voice mode to code that way was like so much like fucking Jarvis in Iron Man. It was like not even funny. That's cool, and that burnt so many credits so quickly. So for some of the features like that, I can get it, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how they've done it, but AI companies have managed to make you go like, you know what, maybe I will throw hundreds of dollars into this every month. I mean, this is how many you burn. Let me see this. Let me see this. God damn. And that started from when? April? Yeah. March, getting pretty good. On the Gemini bandwagon, just like myself. Love it. Hitting Opus and Sonnet. Yep, love it. Then we start we're accelerating somewhat here into the 60 millions. It's all right, in Claude code. Go from Gemini to Claude. Yep, I'm on that bandwagon too. And then Claude's pretty damn good. And then you start accelerating with Opus more and more and more and starting to spend a bunch of dollars. And then we get to here, trying out Gemini 3.5 Flash. Fast as fuck, I will say, but not necessarily the best. I feel like this is a good graph just tracking like model capabilities at any point in time, especially this entry of Codex now. 5.6 Sol comes out and it's good, and you're like, yeah, time to get amongst that too. My usage has probably been quite similar. Fable 5 for that period when it was actually released. Fable 5 usage still there, or I mean, you know, still a bit. You still got to use the credits they gave you, because then they took it. Oh, actually, no, you'd have Fable 5 on a max plan. True. All right, ad break time. Oh, this is sick. Where is this, by the way? Is this what is this? Is this a personal website? Or is this a service? Toxscale. Where is this? Toxscale. Toxscale.ai. View usage stats. Oh. Interesting. You just bun exit. Sick. I don't think I've got... What else does it track? Grab the... Hold on. What GPU does one need for AI to generate an image? I mean... Good question, smartass42. Why not just use ChatGPT? Question mark. I mean, you could do it like locally, sure. You could do it on a CPU. It'd just take fucking forever. Depends what model you want to use, I guess. What are open source? Open weight, image gen models. Last time I tried to generate an image locally was back in the days of Stable Diffusion, when that first got released. Supports pretty much all tools. I'm gonna have to give this a go, because I like that. That is a very nice interface. Let me grab this link. I want a version of this for mine to see how it's going to be like. For personal, it's going to be like all codecs though, because that's what I've got like the most on, but on unnamed devices. Good. Oh, they did a 3D map too. Oh, that makes me happy for other reasons. Yo. Yeah, that's super cool. Back to Smartass's questions. What was your GPU during those times? I had a 2080 when I first started playing with Stable Diffusion. Like, it was okay. I think I had like, 12 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes of RAM, but I think, yeah, like I just go with something like ChatGPT or Claude to generate images. Like, we generated this with GPT before for Pandas in the chat's 2D Paper Mario Breath of the Wild game, and so he's using it like 2D images like this, but in a 3D world, Paper Mario style. So it makes it really easy for him to add like custom game arts, because you can just say, "Oh, make me this thing in Paper Mario style," and then it'll give you something good. So for like normal image gen, just ChatGPT, or like, yeah, they'll have like really good models for it. Otherwise, there are a lot more image generation sites and like companies and stuff, or like different websites that are more leaning into like giving you Stable Diffusion style images. So I feel like it's going to be easier to not do it locally, but if you do want to do it locally, you don't need a huge GPU. Like, if you've got a MacBook, you could do it on a MacBook. I only have Plus local, so I've got streaming profiles. You only have Plus. This guy's a fraud. He doesn't have Pro. This guy doesn't vibe code. I've got Pro on personal, then I have separate accounts for streaming. So this is my streaming Codex profile. And then I've got the same for Claude. But I have Codex Pro for personal. But not Codex Pro and Claude Pro, just Codex Pro. I've also got a Quen. I got a Quen subscription because 3.8 came out and people were like, this is amazing. And so I wanted to give it a go. Pretty good, honestly. I was pretty happy with Quen 3.8 Max. If your GPU is a TI, then this is bad news for me as an AMD user. Pepper hands. No, I've just got I've got a 5080, but you don't need something that big. It just depends on the weights of the model, right? So it's less about the GPU you need, and it's more like the model you want to run. And so the first question is, what open weight image gen model do you want to run? Mind Studio reckons Ideogram is good, but Ideogram 4 AI Overview and Gemini reckons Ideogram 4.0, Flux 2 Dev, and Stable Diffusion are okay. So if we say Ideogram 4.0, have a look at that. Does a hugging face? No hugging face? All right. Ideogram 4 released 9.3 billion params, NF4, CUDA, yes. So if you have a CUDA GPU, that'll work, but the FP8 will work with all. So then you're looking at the memory requirements that this particular model would need. And for something that's memory, GPU, man, where are the requirements of this thing? Ideogram 4, Hanyuan. Ideogram for memory requirements. 8 gigabyte and 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which is a fair bit. It's a fair bit at NF4. At FP8, the one that is not just cute. So at NF4, at this one, that's going to be 8 to 12 gigabytes on a NVIDIA card. If you're running it on a MacBook Pro, because they use unified memory, it's going to be easier to get 16 to 24 gig and run it at the FP8. But yeah, depends on the model. So if Ideogram 4 was what you're looking for, that would be the requirements. What are the other ones Google said? Flux 2? Flux 2 Dev? Memory requirements? What does this give us? Image generation model locally. GGUF could be down to 8 to 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Works with low VRAM flag, but expect very slow generation. So you could like maybe satisfy for very slow image generation. Yeah, you can get away with less memory though by offloading parts of the pipeline off the video card. But if you want good performance, you probably need something with more memory. Like just having lots of video memory is going to be the way that you run the best model that you possibly can. Which is why a lot of people buy MacBook Pros with like loads of unified memory to run local models, LLMs and photo generation, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah. So, you know, it's not that you can't run stuff, but you just might be like, you might have to choose a framework to run a model that doesn't actually fit in your VRAM, and you just expect that it's going to be slower because it's got to swap out like some of the weights to run the whole thing. Just fine, right? Like if you're experimenting locally, you're not doing it for speed. If you're doing it for speed, just use GPT. It's pretty good, right? Or use another Stable Diffusion like service. I was going to show you because I saw one that could generate stuff in a second for free. Because if AMD tends to crash out and work if it spills out of VRAM. I'm sure there's ways to get it to work though. AMD GPU offloading model inference frameworks. Calidros, what are we working on today? Hey Calidros, welcome to the chat. We were trying to get our bot to chop wood reliably. Where's our bot? He's doing okay. He is doing okay. We were spending some time looking at the code for it and rewriting it and making it a bit more sensible, because to get a working MCP server where an arbitrary AI can use the MCP server to play the game, it's not really about the AI, it's more about the actions and the server and the session management and how you handle getting mobbed by zombies and shit. So we need to make that a bit more sensible. So there was a lot of code that I generated that I token maxed into existence, but now it's like all slop and I'm not happy with it, and it breaks in weird and wonderful ways, and I think there is some room for simplification. Also, sometimes you ask for requirements and it writes code to meet those requirements, but the amount of code it writes to meet the requirement doesn't justify the requirement, so you'd prefer to descope the requirement, But then you forget about it, right? And so you go through the code and then you're like, oh yeah, I did ask it to do that. And then you're like, wait, why does it take 7,000 lines of code to do this thing? And it's like, I did what you asked, bro. And so I'm gonna be spending the next number of days going through the actual like action code that it's produced and de-sloppifying it. George Washington cherry tree skill. What's the George Washington cherry tree skill? RX 7600 has sufficient computing power, but the 8GB VRAM is feeling like the advancement of time. Yeah, 8GB of VRAM is not heaps. Not heaps in this day and age where kind of like 9 to 30 billion parameter models are like state of the art for a lot of stuff, or like state of the art for local for a lot of stuff. I feel like having 24 gigabytes VRAM by default would be much nicer. Man, look at him go. This guy's killing it. Just chop down trees. Yeah, eventually, look. So the goal is to beat the Ender Dragon. No one has ever done that with an AI model yet because it's difficult getting them to chain all of the different actions together reliably. And this is built on Mindflayer, which has a bunch of issues and like brittle stuff where it fails. The AI is not being trained to play the game. It's just calling MCP tools to do things. Like I'll show you. So the MCP calls that it makes look exactly like this. So it'll make a call. It'll say, I want you to navigate near this position. And then it's up to the MCP server to actually take the bot to that position. So the AI kind of sets the scene, it sets the intention of what needs to happen. But there's like a whole bunch of JavaScript code which then runs to actually perform the action, right? Training, it's less about training. The goal is if this works, Minecraft becomes a way to benchmark models in some real behavioral way where they can run around, they can chat, like I can talk to him, I can say, what are you doing, right? And then he'll see that chat and maybe hopefully respond and say, this is what I'm doing, right? So we don't want to train the models. It's more we want to use Minecraft to test what the models can do, right? And so this guy goes, I'm the sole woodcutter, harvesting reachable oak and birch, recovering saplings, and keeping the stockpile growing while staying alive. So that's his goal. That's his mission. That's what he does, right? And I think the goal is like, if you see like the Fable release, like when they released Fable 5, they had like a video of it playing Pokemon end-to-end based on just solely vision, which is very cool. Games are a way for us to see how models perform and see what they can do. But we haven't solved Minecraft yet. And I think part of that is just because its ability to interact with the game has been kind of unreliable. So I want to make it more reliable so that, you know, when a new model comes out, we can be like, let's see how it beats the game. Let's see how it does this thing. Let's see if it can, you know, do things. Then we can basically benchmark models in Minecraft and watch them like running. And Minecraft's a lot more like fun to observe because it's social as well. It's not just a game where it's playing it like, oh, can it beat Tetris? Like, whatever. But they can interact with each other. So you can put like 6 Minecraft in and say, all right, you know, the first one of you to kill all of the other ones wins. You can do like Minecraft Hunger Games and shit. And you can measure these other behaviors, including like the social elements of AI, and test them in these different scenarios. But you can't do that if they can't walk from A to B or like survive without a zombie just like murdering them with like no worries whatsoever. And so I want to let AI play the game as well as humans do. And you know, the best example of that is, can it navigate the whole game on its own, just given a set of tools, and beat the Ender Dragon? So that's the challenge, to try and do that. At least that's what I'm going to try and do. This house answers your questions for now. They can sleep if he has a bed. I've definitely seen them sleeping through nights before, and they've definitely got the tools to do it. But this one seems to be dead set on collecting as much wood as possible, and then just gives up and says, I'm just going to build a house around myself. Or maybe he's having issues like creating beds. One of the actions that is built into the MCP server is for them to have the ability to report bugs. And so if you look at this bug explorer, these are all of the bugs that the bot's reporting. Combat safety. The persistent woodcutter loop repeatedly launched or continued long hunt navigation actions. Observed health reach 2 with food 2 during a sheep expedition. Subsequent return to death. Also caused deaths before dropping a 359 log haul could be secured. The loop then required repeated recovery and lost logging. So it was complaining about the loop that it's in. Crafting table placement times out. Shelter helper rejects carried oak logs despite valid placement. So it's fun watching the bot complain about what doesn't work in the actions layer. And this essentially then becomes a backlog to work through of, okay, what bugs do I have to solve? But there are a lot of bugs that it's reported already from just like a day of, not even a day, like what, 3 hours of like letting it try and collect wood. Oh, actually, this is from earlier, so this covers a couple of days of what came from today, 21 hours ago. Today we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bug reports. That's not bad. It's not bad. But you know, still some bugs to solve. But once we make this more mature, once we have it more trustworthy, once we de-slopify some of the code, yeah, I want to put all of the bots in Minecraft and make them like fight in Hunger Games style or some shit like that. That's kind of what I'm like want to get to. But yeah, we got some problems to solve first. Sleeping in beds would be one helpful change that could help. But in the meantime, he'll just wall himself into a house. That's the plan. All right, cool. I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go and get some food. And love you and leave you. Let's raid someone. Let's give some love to the software development kind of community on Twitch. You know, love our software and tech. Software and game development. Who should we raid? Are any of you streaming, by the way? We raided Pikus the other day, who was doing like Super Mario reinforcement learning, which is pretty cool. But today, who do we want to raid? I reckon let's raid game dev questions, learn AI ChatGPT. Making a game in 500 hours. A lot of game dev stuff here, which makes sense because it's a game development category. Rust game dev. Foundation for a card game. Oh, that's cool. I wouldn't mind learning some Rust game dev as well. Let's raid someone new today. Toggle bit. Okay. All right. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you. Bye. See you next time. Feel free to follow. We will solve this game. I will beat Minecraft with an AI, and it will be the first time that has been recorded to have been done. It's going to happen. It's going to happen here. We're going to do this shit. But first I'm going to de-slopify this goddamn collect block woodcutting thing. So in theory, I'll see you tomorrow. In practice, we'll see how we go. I really should do some video editing and publish some more like YouTube content, but I am much more interested in trying to beat Minecraft with ChatGPT, to be fair. Thanks for coming by. Love you all. Let's raid Togglebit. Do. Excellent. Put that on mute. Oh man, this guy's awesome. He's a Viking too. Look at that hair. Damn. Love it. All right. See you all next time. Bye.
Oh, that's funny. Right, this music is a bit too intense for me. I'm gonna move on. My goodness.